back.
What's up, Denis?
Mic check. 1, 2.
I'm back, baby. Let's make it happen. Time to get the boogie on. What's going on, people? It's Zeke here. My boy, CeeLo Green. I'm the new host of What's the Move podcast.
What is wrong with you?
We're actually about to change to What's the Play. What's going on tonight?
Yo, you need so much help. I don't got time for you, bro.
But yeah, so Denis, how's your week going, bro? What you been up to?
My week is going amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't think they really care about my week. Let's dive in.
Let's get it. So, I want to ask you, let's talk about 2020, but let's just talk about time. Let's talk about time management.
Time. I ain't got no time for that. So time. I think time is one of those interesting things. The thing I love about time is something we all have. Whether you're black, you're white, you're Christian, you're atheist, we all have time. And, time is something that you also can't get back, So I can give you more money, but I can't give you more time, That's why, like I say, hey, waste my money, but don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Because time is that commodity that, again, we can never get back. And I think what you do with your time today will actually reflect on who you become tomorrow. So, anytime somebody says, oh, I don't have time to do this, or I don't have time to, no, actually you have nothing but time.
Yeah.
But it's rather, what are you doing with your time? How are you not spending time, but how are you investing time?
Yeah.
Nobody ever made money spending on stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody ever, became wealthy just spending, but the wealthiest people are those who invest.
Yeah.
So the question is, what are you investing in, or how are you investing your time?
Yeah.
Whether it's, are you learning? Are you investing your time in the right people? Are you investing your time in the right relationships?
Yeah.
Are you investing your time in the right job for you?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts is time again, and time. I think time is the greatest commodity that we have on earth. I think time is undervalued. I think we undervalue our own time. It's crazy because we're so busy, and I want to talk a little bit about time, but I also want to talk about busyness
Busy
and
people.
rushing. Because I found out the busy people are often the brokest.
Busy and broke. Busy and broke.
You gotta pick a struggle, but
Can't be busy and broke. You gotta pick what?
So yeah, it's all about time, and when I've looked is I see that people are often in a hurry. People are often on the move. People are often trying to do things. So it's like we don't like our job, and we got up late, so we rushed to work.
Right.
But then we get to work and we realize, hey, we still don't like our job, and now we rush home. And then now we're sleepy, so we rush to bed. But then we have so many problems, we have so much stress, and we rush to sleep to find out that we couldn't sleep. Or you're in a position where you're rushing each time to get paid, and 2 weeks can't come fast enough, and now you're rushing to get a check. But then you get your check, and it's not enough. And we're rushing, and it's rushing, and rushing. And I was looking at this guy in the dealership earlier, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at him and his family. I'm like, man, I would love to have that. And he's looking at me. He's like, if I could go back into my 20s, so I want to go there, and he wants to go here, and I want to go there, and he wants to go here. And time, we're always moving. But what I would tell people is just to freeze.
Wow.
I believe the enemy wants to have us so concerned about our future that we miss the breathtaking experience in the moment.
On the now, yeah. And it's funny because, we talk about what's the move. And a lot of people are always focused on the next move, but they're neglecting the right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people want more money, but they actually don't want to steward the money that they have now.
Yeah.
A lot of people want more time,
Yeah.
but they're not investing or stewarding their time now.
Yeah.
A lot of people want better relationships or a better relationship, but they're not stewarding or investing into the relationships that they have now.
Yeah.
And the thing I always say is that tomorrow is not promised.
Yeah.
In fact, the only thing that we have is now. And, I know people who go to school for years and, saying that, hey, one day I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to do that. Or after I go to school, I'm going to start this nonprofit. Yeah. After I go to school, I'm going to, do this, or I'm going to go on this trip, or I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And in reality, it's like, hey, that sounds great. That's amazing. I'm happy that you have a plan. But again, tomorrow is not promised. So, hey, maybe you can't start that nonprofit right now, but maybe you can actually start investing time and start learning what it takes to start a nonprofit. You know, maybe you can't go full time in your photography business, but maybe on your time, in your own time, you're investing, you are learning more about the photography industry, and or you are creating many pieces of content for 30 minutes a day, and you are investing your time. And the whole idea of what's the move when I was created it, it's not so you can always be doing stuff. What's the move is this idea of who you're becoming, not what you're always doing. Because I often say a lot of people are so focused on making moves that their moves are actually making them. So instead, focus on where you are and stewarding your time right now. If it's that business, invest it today. Maybe you work a 9 to 5, but there's also that 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. You know, how are you investing the time that you have? And who are you investing that time with? You know? Like, I think you should talk about that a little bit. Like, the people you spend your time with is so important. What do you think about that?
I think if I can explain it to you like this, I would explain it. If I want to go into real estate and I want to talk to you about owning a home, I wouldn't go to a homeless person. If I wanted to have a lot of money, it's cruel, but it's kind of true. If I wanted to have a lot of money, I wouldn't talk to a broke person.
Right.
If I wanted to be successful, I would put myself around successful people.
That's right.
And that brings me to, I believe life is all about positioning. It's not always about where you are or who do you know, but it's always about who knows you. And can I tell you that God knows you? And I think that God will put us in a position and prepare us and position us to where we need to go. So when it comes to allocating time and it comes to giving time to these different things, I think we have to look at it like this. We sleep obviously about 8 hours a day. Every doctor, what I've seen, they recommend that we sleep 8 hours a day. I probably get about 5 to 6. You probably get about, with your baggy eyes, you probably get about 4. So, and that's 8 hours right there. There's 24 hours in a day. If you work a 9 to 5, that's 8 hours right there. That's 16 hours. Now you have 8 hours left. The time it took you to get back and from work, the break that you took in between hours, now you're looking at about 6. And look at time, how time flies. And before you know it, you have no time. So I think it's key and it's huge. You know, it doesn't matter what time you wake up. It matters what you get done when you wake up.
That's right.
It does not matter what time you wake up. You can get up at 6 a.m., but if you're taking midday naps, you should have just got some sleep in. And so it's not about what time you wake up. It's about what you do when you get up. It's not about how much time you have all the time, but it's about what you do with the time that you have.
And I love that. I think that's a perfect segue. So it's like now about going back a little bit about like now the who that you're spending your time with. You know, there goes that cliche quote, like, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Or what's that one thing that people say, like, that you make about what the same, I don't remember what the percentage is, but you make about the same income, or you will make the same income of your 5 closest friends.
You
know, and at that moment, you know, like, you have to say, hey, I'm too broke to hang out with you right now. Where you're headed, I'm not going in that direction. And I think the most important thing about time is knowing what not to allocate your time to. I know part of my struggle sometimes is sometimes I allocate too much time to things that I shouldn't be doing for people I shouldn't be doing it for. Yes, I want to help people. Yes, I want to encourage people. But sometimes I feel like I've had to step back and say no a lot more. And as I continue to grow older, as I continue to have different passions and I continue to do more, what I'm starting to realize is that my no is actually way more important than my yes. Because learning to say no to things, it allows me to say yes to the right things. And then now, my time is no longer controlling me. I'm controlling my time. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you hit it on the head when you talk about, you know, saying no to some things so you can say yes to the right things. And I think I've learned to say no in my life. I think no is universal. So you can just keep saying no until you want to say yes. But to take it a step farther than that, I think it's not only about time, but I think it's bigger than the picture that I can even explain nor fathom. Because we do not know the amount of time that we have on this earth. And you know, I always hear people say, if you died today, would you go to hell? Or if you died today, what would blah blah blah. But I would question to ask you, if you died within a week, what would you do in that week? Because I believe that's how you should live your life every day. If you died within a week, what's the difference that you would make in that week?
I think that's great. When I started my podcast is because I was heading on a plane and I was thinking, this big chunk of metal, this big chunk of metal goes down right now.
Yeah.
Would I be satisfied with everything that I've done?
Yeah.
And in that moment, I said, no, I would not be satisfied. And mind you, this is after co-founding an organization that has reached millions of people, doing a Super Bowl commercial by the age of 18, whatever the time is, being on CNN, ABC, all of these different media outlets, or speaking in stages to thousands of people. And a lot of people would be happy with that, but for me, I know like that's not even all that I want to do, the impact that I want to have.
Yeah.
And and maybe you're listening to that. Well, I don't know if I can do that. Well, that's my story. My story doesn't necessarily have to be your story.
Yeah.
But I think the key idea for me at that moment when I was getting on that plane, at that moment I realized like I'm not gonna wait anymore to do this, but I am gonna construct my time, and I'm gonna plan out my day in a certain way where I can truly say at the end of each day, hey, I accomplished everything that I needed to do for this day. And I think with time, maybe you're listening and you have this thing where you want to write a book, or you want to write a song, or you want to write a poetry, or you want to produce a movie, or you want to do a film, or you want to go travel. I encourage you, take a step today, even if it's just a small step.
Yeah.
Take a small step. Don't wait till you have it figured out. Don't wait for you. And here's another thing. I think a lot of people don't do things because of who they think that they're not, rather than who they actually are. If I waited, for me personally, if I waited for me to be a great speaker to speak, I wouldn't have spoken in all the different places that I've spoken at.
That's true.
And me, like reality, like I stutter, my grammar's not that great.
You're not that cute.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing is I never had a limiting belief to say, oh, this is not who I am. Like, this is who I'm not.
Yeah.
When I look at myself, I say, why not me? What's the worst possible thing that can happen?
Yeah.
I don't know if that resonates with you. Like, what do you think about that?
Someone asked me, they said, Zeke, what's the most dangerous thing you've ever done?
Okay.
And I told him, wait. The most dangerous thing that I've done is wait.
Wow.
Wait to become great.
Wow.
Wait to get closer to my goals. Wait to become the best version of me. The most dangerous thing I have done is wait.
Wow.
And I think we need to think about what in our lives are we waiting on. I often hear people say, hey, when I get more money, then I want to be a blessing to other people. Yeah. But if you're not blessing people now, you're not going to be blessing people then.
Wow.
If you're not taking the little that you have now and giving it to people now, then you're not going to bless people then.
That is so powerful.
I hear people say, okay, when I get this nice job, when I get this big house, when I get all these different things, then I can be what I need to be and who I need to be. But the most dangerous thing you can do in this season is wait on an opportunity. Because while you're waiting on an opportunity, that opportunity is actually waiting on you.
You know what? The one thing that you said that I love when you said it. You said, "Don't chase the bag, create the bag."
Yeah.
When I first saw that, when you first posted, I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to steal that so bad. And I think it's true.
Yeah.
In life, we're so busy chasing things instead of creating things.
Yeah.
We're so busy looking out to the next that we're not focused on the now.
Yeah.
We're so focused on what could be that we're not really taking time to invest in what is. And we're not making the most out of our moments. And one thing that I've always said is, I don't want my life to be just a moment to be remembered. I want my whole entire life to be a movement that makes a difference. And if my life is going to be a movement that makes a difference, that means that I have to invest every single day. I have to live every single day with intention. I have to live every single day on purpose. Now, if we begin to talk about purpose, I believe that purpose is not what you do. I actually believe that purpose is the reason in which you were created.
Yeah.
So my personal belief on life is, if I have a pulse, then I still have a purpose. If I still have breath in my lungs, that means there's still more for me to do.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm always striving for the next thing,
Yeah.
but that means is I'm looking at every opportunity. and I'm making the most of it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
So originally you talked about, so God gave me this thing, and I don't know if it's a slogan or it's a saying, but it was, don't chase the bag, create the bag. And the reason why I came up with that is because I noticed in 2018, 2019, everybody kept saying, let me get to this bag, let's chase this bag, let me get this bag, let me get, and I was thinking, no one secured the bag yet. Everybody's been chasing the bag, and is the bag running that fast?
Is it hiding?
So
the bag is hiding. Comment below if your bag is hiding.
And no one has secured the bag, so I'm starting to think, okay, maybe if we stop chasing the bag and create the bag, the bag will chase us. And what I mean by that is creating income. You know, stop waiting on your job to pay you and become that job. You know, stop waiting to be employed and be the employee or the employer. So it's like it's small things like that leading up to big moments. And I think one of the things that we need to learn how to do better when it comes to not chasing the bag is taking notice and celebrating the small victories.
That's right.
Like a small victory would be you waking up on the right time in the morning.
Yeah.
A small victory would be you making your bed before you leave.
Yeah.
These are the small victories, because sometimes in life we're so big and we're so set on the big victories.
Right.
But if we don't take those small victories, we don't celebrate those small victories, we'll get lost in our own success.
And one thing I always say to myself, I said, you know, like I put in my iPhone notes, a side note, I say that you are what your iPhone notes look like. I'm just kidding. But in my iPhone notes at the end of the day, I put in what was the win for today. Because every day I try to track a win. I try to, you know, and even if, you know, I can't find a win, I try to set up the win for tomorrow. But nevertheless, I think the most important thing from this conversation that we had is that time is the most important thing that we can't get back. And too many of us are asking for more time, but we're not actually really investing the time that we have. But again, like I said when we started off, is like where you invest your time today will be a direct reflection of who you are tomorrow. And again, you know, life is not just all about what you do, but life is about who you are. And you don't get in life what you want, you get in life who you are. So that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
I think we covered it all. Time again, time. So I want you to do is, if you're taking notes or whatever you're doing, if you're just listening, I want you to take a mental note. Look at where you're allocating your time. Look at who you're giving your time to. Look at all these things, because these play a big part of time.
All right.
Thanks. Time.
Thanks, Eddie Murphy. I'll catch you.
All right, Victor Oladipo on the building.
All right. See you guys next week. Love you guys so much.
Let's do it.